Hi guys, Dave and Tex here, and what you're looking at is a video that I'm going to do showing you the actually measurement differences between the Epiphone ES339, right just right here, okay, and the fake Gibson 339, right? And I've already done these measurements once to get an idea of what's going on with these guitars and what their real differences are, and to really show you the best I can and still have it make any sense whatsoever and show up. I've got them both on identical stands, okay? These are both Ultimate stands, both exactly the same model, and as you can see, the Epiphone sits a little bit higher than the Gibson. Well, the only reason that it's taking place is because at the very bottom, the Epiphone is actually riding on the USB mount on this, so it kind of helps it stay up above the Gibson. Otherwise, they're pretty darn close in size, except for the head obviously being larger on the Epiphone. Now, let's just get down to the measurements, okay? And see what we can come up with. I'm just using a standard scale, right? Stanley, for the crude measurements, and I'm just using a digital caliper for the more finer measurements I'll be doing. Okay, the head differences from the top to the top of the net is the top of the head to the nut is 7 inches, right? Okay, on the Epiphone. On the Gibson, it's 7 inches, or about close to 7 inches. Same thing, right? Now, the neck, you're not going to be able to see all the neck. With the neck, let me just measure that real quick. So I can back up here some. Alright. The neck on these guitars, from the inside of the nut to that nano magnet, is 18 inches. Alright, I don't know if you can see that or not. I can't see the screen that well. Let's see if I can flip that around. Okay. From the inside of the nut to the end of the net, well, let's see. That's about to the middle of the nano magnet, right? It's 18.5 inches. Oh man, it's not easy to do. And this one, at the end of the fret, is 18 inches as well. Okay. One more time. If I can get that in vision or not. Darn it. Is that the length of the inside of the nut to the end of the nano magnet is about 18.25 inches. Let's see if I can get on this one. And on this one, it's about 18 inches to the end of the fretboard. So 18.25 inches on the Epiphone and 18 inches on the fake Gibson. Okie dokie. Now across, here's what kind of surprised me. Across, it's about 10 inches, right? And on this, again, about 10 inches. And I can't see the film that well, so bear with me. So across from the horns, across to the other side of the horns, about 10 inches, right? Now the difference is the distance between the horn, right, and the neck itself, this being, say on average, about 2 inches, and this one being about 2.5 inches. So there's a much wider gap, obviously, on the fake Gibson than there is on the gap for the Epiphone. Whereas the horns themselves, yeah, there's a big difference there too. 1.5 inches on the depth or width of this horn, 2 inches on the horn on this one. Okay? Now for the overall size, which I can't show you without just, you know, being a magician. But the overall size of this guitar on the Epiphone is about 41 inches, okay? And on the Gibson, here's another cameraman will come in real handy, guys. I'll have to go inside that neck. Wow, it's not easy. I have to cut a bunch of this. The length of the fake Gibson is about 40 inches, 40 and a half inches. So there's a half-inch difference in length as well, okay? Now, here's where I can really show you some interesting differences, but there's not that much difference overall in these two guitars, okay? But there is some that may make you think, ooh, I don't want that, okay? Ooh, that's a way to tell if this is a fake or not. All right, now, here's some interesting stuff, okay? On each of these nuts, right, I'm using a digital caliper, as best I can see it on camera like I'm doing this. And on the caliper, let's just do it this way. We're looking at 1 11/16 width on the nut. On the other nut, same thing, right? One 11/16, right? Now, width at the 12th, right? That's where we get some differences at the 12th fret. Do you see that? Hell no. Hold on. At the 12th fret is where the and one's 27-30 seconds. Okay, so basically that's what you've got as far as differences are concerned on these guitars. Not a whole heck of a lot, but again, as I said, the reason they look so much different in these two stands is because of that little indentation, or that little hump that is the USB connector at the bottom, actually resting on this stand. don't know if you can see this or not, but it is right here, and that makes it stand up just a tiny bit higher than the Gibson. You get it? I'm sure if it wasn't there, it'd slide back down into the opening as the other one does, and be pretty much the same size, because there's only like a half an inch difference in these guitar lengths and heights. And as far as the widths are concerned, they're dead nut. They're exactly the same, with the exception of those horns. The inner body curve, the first curve, those are the same measurements. The actual bodies, those are the same body sizes to the nut, to the RCH, and no difference whatsoever. So very interesting. Originally, when I checked these guitars out, or checked this guitar out, the Gibson, it was 2 to 2.5 inches difference in its height, I'm sorry, the length of the neck and the overall body as compared to the Epiphone. And that was like 3 or 4 months ago. I wrote into the guy saying, no, there's no way I'm going to order that thing, it being that much off, right? And I think what they originally had done, now this is just me guessing because I didn't talk to them, but I think they tried to scale it down as though they were scaling down at 335, right? So not only does the neck get lower and smaller and less thick if they put it to scale, rather than have it, built to play. You got me? But overall, there's so much tiny differences in these things that it makes no difference in playing them. Now, so like I said, it's about 2.5 pounds weight differential between the two. And I mistakenly called this one a mahogany back. It's not. It's 100% maple. This guitar is 100% maple, top and bottom, right? And the neck is 100% maple, one solid piece, no scarf joint and no heel joint. And this one's made of maple and mahogany. Okay? So there is a difference in the weight, plus all the gear on this one and the cutaway that took place. And this is a half of a semi-hollow, where this is a full semi-hollow guitar. So there's where your weight differential takes place, right? Playability, in my opinion, my simple opinion, they both play pretty much the same, with the exception of the fretwork I've done on the Epiphone already and what needs to be done on this one. A few of these are sharp. They need to be, addressed and dressed up again. And there's a little bit of fret buzz on this one. I lower it to the type I want. And there's a bridge coming in for it, a roller, a Wilkinson, and we'll see how that does, because this one already has one on it. Okay, a roller. And I think once I introduce the roller onto this Gibson, I'm not going to feel a lot of difference in these two guitars, okay? Now, I'm going to cut away here in a little bit, and trust me, I'll edit as much junk out as I can off this video. And I'll do some sound checks versus the original pickups before I do any changes to anything on the guitar, as compared to the original pickups that that come with the Epiphone ES339. And what I'll do is compare the humbuckers to humbuckers, right? Since this one does not have a nano mag on it, okay? So hang in there while I cut away and set this thing up to play note for note changes so you can hear the differences. Okay, I'm starting out with the fake, and this is the fake ES339 Gibson, right? You can tell by the 2 cutaway holes in it. It's the fake one. And it only has a pair of humbuckers on it and no nano mag, right? Which, is very limiting as far as the comparison is concerned. But then again, it's still a pretty decent guitar, with the exception of these microphonic pups, which I will be addressing later. But to get a sound comparison, as these two guitars are off the shelf, here's what they sound like. Now, that was played through my 4-force amp, the little amp that is a solid state amp that sounds like a tube amp, right? It's amazing how that thing does sound like a tube amp. It still amazes me. Alright, we'll cut away here and switch over to the Epiphone on its 2 pickups. Play the same stuff. Okay, so I've got this same setting as the other guitar, right? Playing both pickups. Now the biggest difference between these guitars is the profile of this neck. There is a great big deal. Try this again. Now, where there is a big difference in the feel of these guitars is the profile on these 2 necks, okay? The Gibson fake is more slender than the Epiphone. And let me do this because I forgot to measure it last time. Let me get a measurement on this Epiphone, because it feels like it's much thicker in its profile. Whoopsies. Get a measurement here. That's the best I can. Oh, come on, guitar. Alright, the thickness of the neck is 7/8 of an inch. Alright? You can see this on my caliper. It's 7/8. Okay, that's from just measuring on the 5th fret. Just think about the the length or sort of the depth of this neck. Best I can tell, because I've got it strung up right at the moment. I can't get those strings off. I really can't get much underneath that. 7/8 of an inch looks like to be the right measurement for that. Okay, I'll verify that later on by loosening these strings up and actually getting a better measurement. But 7/8 of an inch as a rough estimate on the thickness, I think it's going to be a bit thicker than that Chinese fake. pickups, there's nothing coming out of them, right? Just a tiny little sound compared to those microphonic types. And this sounds much better because it's got that thick, deep richness to it that you're not going to get on microphonic pickups that sound thin and brittle, right? Yeah. So we're going to switch to the bridge pickup. And immediately you can hear that treble kick in, and it's very strong. I'm playing right in the middle of this. I'm not playing over the pickup itself. And it's really biting those notes, right? So these pickups on this guitar were made and designed, I'm told and read, for this guitar only, and they do produce one heck of a tone for it, because they absolutely bite on that treble. They just bite that note, okay, which I really appreciate. So let's switch over to the fake Gibson. We'll play the treble on it and let you hear how it sounds, okay, with its microphonic pickups. Bear with me. I'll cut this. Okay, we got the other guitar back again. This is the fake Chinese one, right? Double cutaway, right? Okay, we're going to switch down to the bridge pickup. Let's hear the treble on it, right? And you do hear it, that biting, trebly sound, but it's not as full-bodied as the other pickups, because they are potted and they're actually, you know, specific to that guitar and that their design. Now, I have to go back and reread it again. I think it's the magnet, it's the winding, it's the poles, it's the spacer, it's everything involved with those pickups is special as compared to just a regular 490 series common Gibson Epiphone pickup, right? And as I said, the Ultra has the special, you know, made ones, as well as the ES339 has what they call the Memphis tone. The real one of these has a Memphis tone setup, and I think what that is there's a treble bleed on this, sorry, on the real one, and that's what it's all about for that Memphis tone, right? Which you can, you know, do yourself with a little kit, a little $20 kit that you can buy, and attach those to the pots, right? So there you go, all right, and we're going to flip it back up, and this time we're going to play the neck pickup on the fake, right? This is still the China fake, and play a little bit, let you hear how it sounds. It should be thick, fat, and bluesy if it were a real one. And sad to say, no, it doesn't. Right, sorry. See, tapping on these, you hear it's microphonic compared to those, you know, compared to the Epiphones that I tapped on showed you, has hardly any sound at all. And that should be much more bluesy sounding than what you're getting from this. And that can be adjusted simply by bringing your hand up the neck and playing over the pup or on the neck itself. But who wants to do that? Obviously, it's like you want to play in the middle where you belong. It's almost like getting a treble sound where you don't want it. You're actually trying for that. That bluesy, fat, syrupy type sound. Now the Epiphone should give me that sound or close to it or better close to it than this one does. Now I'll switch here again and plug in the Epiphone and flip it onto the neck pup and let you hear what that sounds like. And remember, I'm playing these all through my 4-force studio amp because I can put this thing at full volume since it's only a 5-watt amp and get all the tones I want, as compared to lowering my 75-watt line 6 and having that blare out at 4 or 5 to get all my tones, not lose anything. Because once you roll it down, you lose the trebs and the high tones, and that's not much getting around that. Now, switching to the neck pickup. You get some bluesy, but not as much as I expected. Well, anyway, all in all, I have to say that this little Epiphone beats that fake hands down, even without considering the nano mag. Which is that's both of them, put into play. Which I love, because it sounds like you're getting kind of a chorusy sound to it, So, what I'm going to do next on these comparisons, I'm going to take out the original pickups that came with the fake ES339 Gibson. I'm going to use 40% beeswax and 60% paraffin, and I'm going to pot those pickups on that fake Gibson and see if that doesn't improve the sound with that thing, because guys, this thing is just as microphonic as they come, and that's just goddamn annoying. Okay, and like I said on the comparison, this is the let me get something to knock on this thing. This is the comparison. This is a potted pups compared to those ones you heard clanking over there on the other guitar over there. Okay, that way. So, once that's all said and done, I'll put them all back up on the video and let you hear the difference between a fake with potted pups and a well, you can then tune to this video and do a comparison, and also compare it once again to my Epiphone. which I cannot brag enough about. This is one hell of a guitar, guys. It's Ultra. It's ES339 Ultra. It sells for about $5.99. And as far as Epiphone concerns, I think this is the epitome of guitars by Epiphone. It has a wonderful neck, which, I forgot the measurement. But let's do this again. 7 on the other one. That's what this one comes up with. What is that fake Gibson's depth? And if you're going to use these ultimate stands, always be sure to put that strap back that goes across the neck. Is it never fails. You think it's on there and it's not. You pick that stand up and wham, that guitar hits you in the head. So now I'm back to the Gibson, fake Gibson. I don't know why I plugged it in, probably because I'll play it in a little bit. But I'll measure on the 5th fret, right? Can't see on the camera, but I'll do it anyway. I'll measure on the 5th fret what is the thickness of this guitar, best I can. Can't be right. Let's try it again. (27 30 seconds). Okay. 27, sorry, where is it? 27 30 seconds on the thickness of this Chinese fake as compared to the thickness of the Epiphone, real one. Real one. So, any questions about these measurements, give me a holler. Yeah, they're kind of rough and crude, but it's going to give you an idea that when you're looking at these guitars, there's not a lot of difference. I can't use this at all. My sign out. Okay, and one more time we're going to measure this Epiphone. We come up with 7/8 of an inch, almost an inch. Right, 7/8. Come on, camera. There you go. 7/8 of an inch compared to the other one. Right. So it is a thicker neck, not by a heck of a lot, but you can feel it if you pick it up. And the profile on this is a slimming D profile, and the width of the 60/30 neck's what they call it. And I just, like I said, this is the epitome of Epiphone guitars. It's one of the best I've ever played, and why it's still hanging around my studio. Okay, because I must play it at least once a week. So, any questions about these measurements, give me a holler. Like I said before, I'm going to pot over there, right? I'll pot those pickups on the fake Gibson, and then I'll play them again for you to hear. And by that you'll know, at least be able to hear the difference between the potted Gibson pots on a fake, right? And let you know how close they can come to like these, right? Which are, like I said, special order designed for this guitar. I kind of doubt they will come real close, but I guarantee the microphonic sound is going to go away, because I will pot those properly. So, any questions about this or any of these other guitars, give me a holler. Dave in Texas. Have a good one. Bye.